I'm Supermoon Tarot, and today I'm talking to my Cancers. Hello, Cancers! This video is going to be primarily about what the universe wants you to know right now. Now, as you know, I like to change it up every week, so sometimes these zodiac signs will be about career or love or whatever. If you have a particular preference you would like me to do for your sign next time, please let me know in the comments below. This is for my sun, moon, and rising. It's just about the message resonating. So let's get started. Okay, I've already been told to pull 5 cards from this specific deck. Okay, give me a second to look what's going on here. Oh, I love this. Okay, get ready, Cancer. We got a big old change happening in your life, and it is a huge one, and I'm very excited for you. It's going to be completely different than it was before, and this is something that is going to be very welcomed, and it's going to be something you kind of didn't even know you needed, which I love. So all of this is going to sort of pop off, you could say, due to what's going on in the moon card in reverse. This is a beautiful actual reading where it's chronological order. It doesn't always work that way in tarot, if you're a fellow tarot reader, but in this case it actually does, which I love. So in the moon card, this is about something being revealed to you. Mostly I can get the hints of it being revealed of this could be either something that is like you figuring out, oh, this is what I'm really into. I figured it out. This is what I'm passionate about. Or this is a sort of information that inspires you to figure out whatever you're really into. We're going to get into more specifics in a second, but all you need to know is when we have a moon card, the difference between the moon card in reverse and something like the 7 of Swords in reverse is that 7 of Swords is sort of just like a secret. The moon card is something that you have been aware of for a while. It's like, think of the moon as right behind the moon, there's some sort of mysterious thing that is going to be unveiled to you. And so when the moon pops up, you're like, I see it, I know there's something I need to know, and this is to help you better indicate whatever this thing is. It's something you're aware, it's been on the tip of your tongue. Again, when we talk about being in whatever your interests are, your passion, you can think of it as like you've been looking for it for a while, you know it's been right around the corner, you've been seeing it, you haven't quite identified it, and now it's being revealed. So this is not something that's going to catch you off guard. It's been in front of your face, you've been aware it's in front of your face, you just couldn't quite discern what it necessarily was. It's, you know what I mean? And again, this can range from anything from something that is your passion or something that it motivates you. Again, something you've been aware of, so to speak. Anyways, so this is going to cause you to have quite a intense reaction when, to put it lightly, when I say the Knight of Swords in reverse. I do want to say that this is just a sprinkle of a warning with the Knight of Swords. When we see you over here on the Page of Wands, this is you essentially being like, okay, this is what I'm really into, this is my passion, I'm starting it, I'm excited about it, and this is you excitedly running off and being like, I want to make it happen, let's go, 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 go. And that's great. Rush towards it, run towards it, be really vocal with everybody about how much you're into this new thing that you've figured out, you want to share it with everyone. That is not a problem. But be aware that this energy can come out from a good place, well-intentioned place, can start to sort of turn from energetic to manic, and it can get overwhelming essentially and kind of sort of, I don't want to say burn you out, it sort of throw you off course, and you might get in your head a little bit, and we want this to be as fun of a transition as possible. So just be aware if you feel the energy rising too much, being a little too verbal about it, go take a nap. Maybe stop talking about it for a few hours just to recharge, and then you can go back to being verbal about it and running towards that passion. But be aware of having some sort of balance in this process. So example, let's say you find out, you figure out what do you want to do for your career. So you're excited, you're doing all this research, you're buying all the supplies. Take moments in between the supply purchasing. You don't have to do it all in a couple days. Take a second, watch a movie, hang out with a friend, don't talk about it for a little bit. And then the next day, go back to doing all of that. Now this is moving us towards our Page of Wands. I love Page of Wands because it is usually pretty ambiguous. Often for many people, especially with the way society is built, it refers to like a passion that will become a career most likely. It doesn't have to be, but normally it does. But the main way to focus on this card is that you are sort of in this exciting stage of it's a newly discovered thing you're into. It's new for you. It's not something you've done before, or it's not a previous skill that you have, essentially. So this is another way to be able to identify, well, how do I know when I've received the information from the moon? I'll tell you right off the bat, when you receive it, you're going to be exciting and running towards it. That will be your natural reaction. You'll know. But anyways, going forward, so you're sort of going to be taking on this sort of student approach to all of it. So you're going to be excitedly looking up things. Maybe you're signing up for some sort of course or figuring out how you can get a degree oriented around it. Or maybe you want to just go on this sort of quest, if you will, and the quest does pop up when we get into specifics. You do not have to worry about, as you take on this new passion, if you're like, well, I need money now. I want this to be a career now. Does that mean I have to go get a degree and do this? No, not necessarily. Maybe you get a job within that field, but during the time that you were within that field, maybe you're a little more, I don't want to say lower down, but you're aware you can only offer so much based on what you know, and then at the same time you're gaining skill and knowledge. Basically like an apprentice. That's the best way to put it. So you're welcome. That's basically you're embarking on this. Now I am being told, and this is why I got so excited, for some of you, you will be straight up moving not that long after being aware of this knowledge and understanding this. You will straight up be moving to a new location in order to focus on more of this. This is a big, huge change, which is beautiful. But nonetheless, for some of you who choose to move, it's not a have to type of position. You would only be moving if, like example, let's say you really loved instruments and you wanted to also know about them on a more artistic, scientific level, like not just being a musician. Well, there is actually a really cool museum in Arizona. Beautiful museum. I highly recommend that you go to it, where it's a museum of instruments throughout multiple countries and places. You get what I'm saying. And you can essentially say, well, I need to go to that specific place. I have to. That would be the place to learn and understand what it is I need to do. And you can go move there and get a job there. But for some of you, you're like, well, my type of career kind of can be done more locally. And then you can stay locally. You will be able to make the best decision. So if you're like, well, do I have to move? Not necessarily. It just depends, and you will figure that out naturally. But you will be pursuing it on more than just being by yourself and looking up information. You are going to seek out some form of I don't want to say like mentor, but some sort of environment where you can continue to foster these gifts in a more direct, clear way where people can give you actual guidance, actual experience. Nonetheless, this card does represent for everyone that your old life will be being left behind, for better or worse, in a good way. So even if you like your current situation right now, you're going to discover this other passion and be like, whether I hated it or it was fine with me, I'm not going to be doing it anymore. My whole lifestyle's changing. Maybe you were someone that worked in 9 to 5 and now you work all the time because you're so excitedly learning stuff and you just take every opportunity that comes to you. And suddenly you went from somebody who's like, I don't know what I'm doing a year from now, to being like, oh, I could go to this sort of festival and I could go to this place and this could help my career in this way. And suddenly you're thinking and acting and taking a hold of adventures and opportunities in a way you didn't before. So it's a big shift and change that you're going to excitedly run towards. There's no fear attached to this. It's only good things. And this essentially leads you to the Fool card. Now, this is not the main motif of the Fool card, but I do want to note, and I always just think it's a positive thing to take. I don't think it hinders anyone by taking on this sort of knowledge and attitude. But the Fool card is somebody who believes in positive things, and because they believe in a positive outcome without any proof the whole time, positive things happen because they have that, because they don't need proof. They just hold it in their mind, they set the intention, and it happens. So keep that in mind going forward. But the main thing this Fool card represents is the complete 180 of joyousness when you are in this position. You are going to feel very much like how a lot of people feel when they're sort of in their college years, where it feels like you're bopping around one moment taking a class, then the next you're hanging out with a friend. Each moment beautifully flows into the next of improving yourself and truly feeling like you're living life. That is the tone and the vibe that's popping off after all of this is gained and you're just in the thick of it, essentially. So I'm very excited for you. I think this is a welcomed change and sort of adjustment we can all pretty much get down with, but especially for you, Cancer. So if you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And yeah, bye.